guys, today we're out here and the dog's already out here barking at me. We're going to be fishing today for some largemouth. Let's see if we can get them. Starting with a white fluke. Never tried it out here before, so we're going to try that first. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. We are starting out with this little fluke. It doesn't have the split tail. I think I could rip it up and make it a split tail, but it's a little bit different, so I'm going to try it. I've never really caught many fish on the fluke before, so I thought today would be a great time to, give it a test and see if I can get a few bass on it. I'm going to start by working the edge of this pond. I know that out deep you can get some as well, but it's pretty warm right now, so the fish shouldn't be too deep. We have had some rain, so that's going to make them a little deeper than normal. Should be okay though. The fluke will get down there over time. It's just a very slow sinking bait. Could add some weight to get it down there a little quicker, but I'm starting with the weightless approach to see if that will work. You kind of have to figure out a rhythm because you want that bait to be moving in like a jerk pause motion. It takes a lot of skill to kind of get it down. I'm definitely a newbie at it, but it's pretty cool watching that bait wiggle in the water. I would say this bait has similar properties of a glide bait. This one will definitely go a little bit deeper than a glide bait, but it's very cool how it moves in the water. There was my first bite. That was wicked. I was reeling it in. He followed it in. Was not expecting that. There's first fish. Nice, got him. Didn't even notice he bit. He must have got it on the way down. First one of the day is not bad. First fish I think I've ever caught on a fluke just by itself. That dog is so annoying in the background. First fish kind of come off of a little bit of a drop off in the weed. There's a kind of a weed edge and then the drop off. Good first fish. Man, this side did not treat me well. Had probably 3 to 5 bites. Just couldn't execute. Kept grabbing the tail and that'd be it. They just yank on it a little bit like they were picking it off their bed or something. Gosh dang it. I don't know what the heck the deal is. That one come all the way up for it. Just didn't take it. It's insane. That's quite a few bites in this area. I think this bait is just too big for them. They're hitting it, but they're hitting so much of the tail, they're not just taking the whole bait down. That's another bite. Goodness gracious, I don't know what the heck's going on. I've missed opportunity after opportunity. Not having the best day out here. This bait works excellent. I just cannot connect. I'm definitely going to be revisiting this bait for sure because of, oh, there was a follow. Because it really has great action to it. I love the twitching motion and then the slow sink. All combined into one. It's a killer bait. There's one. I think he come out of that drain pipe after it. I seen just a little bit of wake. Fish number 2 on the fluke. It's kind of sad because I've really had at least 8 different bites, I'd say. I think that one come from letting the area cool down a bit, and then he come out and cranked on it. Very cool. Glad I got a couple fish on the fluke. We're gonna keep trying, but at least we caught 2. Very cool. There we go. Other thing I'm loving about these baits is that they do not rip at all. Very good quality. I know those aren't monster fish I'm reeling in, but they're working good. I believe they are Zoom flukes. They're just cheap ones you can get at Walmart. no big deal. They work great. I got a 4/0 EWG hook on here. I believe it's a Trocar hook, and it's working well. I just can't connect with all of them, but the ones that get a hold of that top hook definitely do not come off at all. There we go. Got a decent hook set on that one too. Second one out of this little drain culvert. Right out in front of it. There might be a little current there, which is why these fish may be gathering up there. Either way though, third fish on the fluke. And it's crazy, I've been here for about an hour now, and I've had 2 fish pretty much back to back, multiple bites, one right off the bat, and a huge gap in the middle of just nothing. Excellent fish. A little over a pound, I'd say. Not a monster, but he likes the fluke. There we go. That one really buried it. Pretty big bait for such a small fish. Very cool though. Off he goes. Not the most gracious release, but he's back in there swimming. That's what I love about these baits too, is third fish, you know, it pushed the bait off the hook a little bit, but still in excellent shape. No rip up top, and hardly any rip down where the hook's exposed at. It's definitely made the holes a little bit larger where the line comes in and the hook goes through, but overall, I mean, it is not getting torn up. Very much so a reusable bait. And there it is. There we go. That's a good, oh man, that was a solid one. That might have been 2+. That's unfortunate. That was a good fish. He may have tore this bait up a bit. I just let that bait sit on the bottom there for a second, and dang, I should have set the hook a lot harder. I was being gentle because there's quite a few small ones on here. I figured that's what I was catching, but never assume that, I guess. Well, my camera died on that last one, but it was probably the best one of the day so far. Unfortunately, I didn't get a release on it because my camera died. I did release it back into the water safely, so no issues there. And she swam off just fine. It's actually a pretty simple bait to rig. Just rig it Texas style, just like you do anything. A worm or a creature bait or anything like that. Any soft plastic you can Texas rig just like that. There's one. Nice. That was weird. I felt a little bit of a tug and then set that baby hard. Got him. That's one thing that's tough on these, is actually feeling the hook set because you're twitching it a lot. So when you go to twitch it the next time, you've already got that fish on there. Now, this guy came right off that weed edge as well. Kind of a crazy little bite. Glad we got him though. It was kind of a soft hit, but man, fluke's working great. Kind of insane that the first hour of the day I got 1 fish, and now in the last half hour I've caught in quite a few. It's like one side of the pond hardly has any bass in it. Could be the fact that this side has a lot less wind, so there might be grouping up over here. The other side's got a lot of wind, that's why I may have only caught 1 there. There's one. Just let it sit there. Cool. Was not expecting that at all. It's kind of getting lazy unless not twitching it as much, but maybe they want it really slowed down. There's kind of a rock pile here in front of this drain culvert, and I think as you let that bait get deeper down in there, these fish will attack it. Another great little bass. The wind's picking up and Buddy's getting it with the weed whacker, so I think it may be time to, you know, start to skedaddle. This pond's inevitable for weed whackers, mowers, geese, and the worst, barking dogs. The homeowner comes out, says stop barking, shuts the door, goes inside, doesn't do anything about the dog, just says stop barking, doesn't even turn and look at it. I love dogs, I really do, but this is driving me insane. For such a gloomy day, it turned out to be all right, other than the dogs barking and the weed eaters running. But we ended up catching quite a few fish with the fluke. Kind of shocked, it's the first time ever really running this bait, so it turned out pretty well. I think one of the keys I need to figure out is be a little bit slower with the bait and have a little bit more patience. And don't rush it, because a lot of these fish are not really moving that fast. That's part of it. You're trying to get a reaction strike. There's one. That one come right off of that culvert. Very cool. That's what happens when you take your time and you work it a little bit slower. That's definitely the biggest one of the day. Very cool. So I'm 100% going to end it with this guy. But awesome day out here. Like I said, today was incredible. Last fish of the day right here. Going to try to release him graciously. And there he goes. Awesome day out here. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned a little bit about fluke fishing. I know I certainly did. But make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on another episode. Stay tuned. There's a lot more to come.